Okay. Welcome, everybody. My name is Elise Fabricant. We're going to get started on a 45-minute gentle yoga class. Before we get started, I want to just point out that I made a special Spotify playlist for you. So if you scroll underneath this screen and find the comments, you can find the link and then use the Spotify playlist for this class. I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. Also, please make sure you have some kind of padding, so a towel or a blanket will work just fine. And then you may want something to hold on to, so having a chair nearby might be helpful. So I'll give you just a minute or two to get settled, to get all of those things ready. I'd like to thank Yoga Download for giving us these free classes. So I don't know if you know, but you can access free classes through this live streaming channel with different Yoga Download classes, different Yoga Download teachers multiple times each week. So it's a really wonderful gift from Yoga Download, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to teach while we're in this quarantine, this coronavirus time. And it is free. That said, I believe there's a donate now button somewhere on the screen. So if this class is helpful to you, please feel free to just throw me $1 or $2. All of the donations go directly to me, which is really helpful because I've lost most of my income as a massage therapist and yoga teacher. So really, really appreciated. Okay, let's just assume everybody's ready. You've got a towel, maybe some water, you've got some gentle music playing. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. You may want to sit up on the very edge of your blanket or towel. I'm going to sit with my hips towards my heels. You might choose to sit cross-legged. You could also sit up in your chair. And go ahead and close your eyes. Place your palms face down on your lap. Roll the shoulders back and let your heart expand. As you drop heavy through your hips, feel your tailbone anchor towards the core of the earth. And then start to lift longer and lighter through the crown of the head. Come to your breath. The mind, if you're anything like me, has probably been anxious or scattered, hard to concentrate. I've been thinking about my mind being like a flapping flag, just flying around in the wind all over the place. The breath then can become like the flagpole. So the mind is still there doing its thing, but the breath can start to anchor it. So bring your mind into your breath. Awareness on the inhalation as it comes in through the nose, cool and crisp. And the exhalation as it moves out through the nose, warm and moist. Big breath in through the nose, fill all the way up. Complete breath out through the nose, let it all go. Pretty simple, not always easy. Keeping the mind coming back to the breath, that flagpole, that anchor. Good. And then keeping your mind on your breath, go ahead and just roll down onto your back. You could set your padding aside for later. And then come on down in whatever way feels comfortable for you. I like to keep the soles of my feet on the ground quite wide and let my knees knock in towards each other. But if there's another way that feels better, feel free to take that. Now go ahead and place a hand on your belly and a hand on your chest. Continuing the breath awareness, let's try out a 3-part breath. So with your inhalation, breathe first into your belly, then into your rib cage, and then finally up into your collarbones. With your exhalation, release from your collarbones, rib cage, and finally from the belly. So inhale, you'll feel the hand on the belly expand towards the sky, the hand on the rib cage expand towards the sky, and then you can imagine sipping in a little more air to fill up through the collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, hand on the rib cage falls towards the ground, and then the hand on the belly falls down. Continue this 3-part breath. Or if you feel this confusing or causing more anxiety, don't worry about it. Just let your breath be long, smooth, and full. We'll have plenty of time to practice this throughout our session today. As you keep your awareness on the breath, I just want to remind you that this is your practice. And I'm not able to see you, of course. So I have to just trust that you're going to be taking care of yourself. I will offer some modifications, but if anything that I instruct doesn't feel good in your body, please take care of yourself and do something else. Remember, we're never concerned with range of motion. I don't care how far down you go, how much you can balance on one toe or wrap your head around your head, your neck around your foot around your head, or anything. All I'm saying is that the practice is about how much awareness you bring to your own body, to your body in this very moment. Let's take about 3 more breaths right here. And then draw your knees up into your chest and wrap your arms around shins or knees. And then start to make little circles on the ceiling with your knees to massage out your lower back. Could feel good after sitting all week. Reverse the direction of the circles, massaging the back. And then you could join me in rocking and rolling along the length of the spine. If this doesn't work for you, just go ahead and come up to a seat in whatever way you'd like. And if you're rocking and rolling with me, let's take one more rock forward and come up. Back to seated. Again, you could grab your little lift if you'd like. This time I'm going to sit in a cross-legged position. If that doesn't work for you, find something else that does. You can definitely do this from your chair as well. From here, reach the arms all the way up overhead, interlace fingers, turn your palms up to the sky, and reach long, creating lots of length in your side body. So we did a lot of this last week. Lengthening the space between the hips and ribs, and then the armpits, elbows, neck, reach high. Keep that length. Bring the right hand to the earth and reach the left arm over. Now anchor down through the left hip. Find more length through the left side body and roll your left rib cage up to the sky. Keep all of that really lengthened and start to rotate your torso down towards the ground, bringing the hand, the arm, the rib cage over the right knee. Now take a moment to really rotate your navel over your right thigh. Keep your left hip tacked back nice and heavy. And then fold forward. Big breath into left side body. Slowly release, take your time. Good. Let's take it to the other side. Left hand to the earth. Reach up, up through that right arm. Keep lots of length and side bend. This time, as you press the left hand into the ground, really anchor down heavy through the right hip and roll right rib cage up. Keep the length through the right side body and start to reach over the left thigh and knee. That hand could come down or not. What's more important here is that you get a little more twist by rolling the rib cage and the navel center over the left knee. Heavy through the right hip, forward fold. Find your breath. And then come up slowly. Let's stretch the legs out. In Yin Yoga, we call this caterpillar pose. The legs are out but soft and floppy, and we're just going to round the upper body. So here, soften your muscles and let gravity take you down. My head is coming towards my knees, but there's no expectation for you to do that. I have a really long torso, so your head will probably be not towards your knees. That's fine. Soften your shoulders, let your arms be floppy, turn your palms up and release any tension in head, neck, and belly. I like to sway a little side to side here. Getting into my left and right side low back, a little bit between the shoulder blades. So this is the soft, floppy, passive version of this pose. In a regular, more alignment-based class, we would activate the muscles and call this Paschimottanasana. So let's try that. Lift up through the torso, flex the feet, and pull your pinky toes especially back towards your head. Then reach your heart up and forward, rolling the shoulders back to keep your chest broad. You can take your hands around your shins, maybe your feet if you can keep your upper body really lifted. From this place, the torso could come forward and down maybe an inch or two. Keep reaching through heart and head. And then from here, I like to just give a very slight bend to one knee and then the other, like I'm walking it out. All right, good. And then the hands can come behind the back. Let's take a little counter pose here just by lifting up the heart and rolling shoulders back. I don't know about you, but I have had so many more hours rounding over my phone and computer recently. So this kind of back bend is the antidote to all of that rounding forward. Coming to tabletop now, this is where you may want to spread out your blanket or your towel onto the ground because we're going to be on the knees for quite a while. So hands down underneath shoulders, knees down underneath hips. With your hands, claw into your fingertips to allow some weight to come off the wrists. Then roll the shoulders back and find your breath. With the breath, let's start some cat and cow. With the inhalation, let the lower back dip, belly lengthens, heart lifts. With the exhalation, the lower back rounds, tailbone towards belly, chin towards chest. Inhale, cow pose, a little bit of a back bend here. Exhale, cat pose, which is our forward fold motion. Continue, inhale, cow pose. Hands and knees can draw towards each other. They won't actually move. And then with cat pose, push your hands and knees down into the center of the earth. Couple more times like this. Let it feel good for your body. And then bring your spine to neutral, tabletop, and take your chin towards your right hip. So you're creating a C curve, lengthening the left side body. Let's bring it back to center. Take it to the other side. Chin towards left hip. Big breath into right side body. Back to center. Now, keep your hands on the ground, but turn them back. Fingertips back towards your knees. And then draw your weight back into your hips. Hips towards heels, feeling the stretch through the carpal tunnel area of the wrists. Woo-wee. Use your breath like the flagpole to ground your mind, your experience right here. And then flip the hands down, reach them further forward, and drag your hips way back towards your heels for child's pose. Take one long breath in, complete breath out. With the next inhalation, grab onto the floor with your hands, and as if you're trying to pull the floor back towards you, scoop yourself forward, cow pose. Exhale, tuck chin, round into cat, and then back to child's. So it's like a cat-cow, but with child's pose thrown in there. Inhale, open heart, come forward. Exhale, tuck, round, and push back. One more cycle of breath. And then come up into all fours. Bring your knees together, ankles together. Tuck your toes underneath, so all 10 toes tucked. And then walk yourself back. You may want to keep some weight into your hands here. If you're able, you could potentially sit back onto your heels and get a nice stretch through the bottom of the feet. If you're upright like me, this is another opportunity to stretch out the wrists, or maybe roll the shoulders. Staying present with the breath. Stay here as long as you can. I just realized that I forgot to bring a clock, so I'll be right back. Stay there, toe torture pose. Sorry, you guys, live class, and I don't have a clock with me, so I'm just gonna watch the phone. All right, that's enough toe torture. Let's come back into all fours. Thanks for bearing with me. From all fours, this time really engage your belly by pulling the belly up and into the spine. Really keep that like you're wearing a corset. Pull it up and in, and reach your right arm forward and left leg back. Now this might be enough for you right here, working on balance and strength through the core. If you'd like to take it a little further, bend the knee, reach back, and grab your foot, creating a little baby back bend. Good, reach it out once again. Slowly, gently place hand and knee to the earth. Okay, let's do it again. Left arm out, right leg back. Pull the lower belly up and in. Stay here if you're just working on stability. This is a really good strengthening pose. If you'd like to take the back bend the back knee. Reach back, clasp the foot, and then pull your foot against your hand to create more of an arch through the spine. The release is kind of tricky. Engage the lower belly, reach it out once again, and then hand and knee to the earth. Go ahead and just take a seat. Grab some water. I need some. So this week we had a beautiful big full moon, a super moon. It was called the pink moon. So today I'll be instructing you in moon salutations. Sun salutations are really wonderful for the morning, getting the energy up. Moon salutations are really appropriate for the evening, grounding and calming the energy. So for now, you could probably move your blanket out of the way. You may want to have something to hold on to, your chair. And then let's all start in downward facing dog. So just like you did in all fours, spread the fingers really wide and ground down through the finger pads. Then tuck your toes underneath. Your feet should be nice and warmed up. And lift the hips. Roll your shoulders broad away from the ears. Allow your head to hang soft and heavy. And then lengthen the space between your armpits and your hips by driving the hip crease up and back. Counteract this by pushing the floor away from you with the hands. Now your heels may be lifted. That's totally fine. Little by little, lengthen the backs of the legs so that someday, maybe not in this lifetime, but someday the heels may reach down to the ground. Then see if you can find the 3-part breath right here. Inhale deep into the belly, rib cage, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, belly. We'll spend about 3 more breaths here. And then to bring the feet up towards the hands, straighten the legs as much as you can, and then just for fun, take little steps forward with straight-ish legs. Little steps forward towards the top of your mat, coming to forward fold. Now, when the feet come up towards the hands, make soft fists with your hands and place them into the crooks of your elbows. Then allow your upper body to get really heavy with gravity. You could bend the knees a little bit here. You could sway side to side. Turning the torso to the side can help you stretch out that sticky low back. Keep checking in with your head and neck and make sure that neck is really soft. The head is heavy. And then let's take the hands and interlace them behind the neck so that the pinky fingers, the small fingers, are really grounding into the base of the skull. Then you can let your elbows get really heavy, tractioning up the spinal column. Bend your knees quite generously. Tuck your tailbone heavy. And then very slowly start to roll up through the spine. Still tugging a little bit on the base of the skull. Take your time, slow motion up. Uncurling, almost as if this is the first time you've stood up all day long. When you arrive with your head stacked above your shoulders, take your arms out to the sides. This is what I call a cactus pose. Elbows a little bit further forward than the hands. Spread open the hands, the fingers, and then bend your knees so that you can stick your booty back a little bit. Opening up through the front body, create a little bit of a back bend. And then straighten legs, palms to prayer. Close your eyes. Come back to your breath. Okay, we're ready for some moon salutations. So for this part of class, I'd like you to be able to move along the long side of the mat while still being able to see me. So I'm going to give you a minute to either move your computer or phone or your mat, whatever you need to set that up. All right, and when that's all ready, Go ahead and step over to the left side of your mat. Take the arms up overhead. Grab your right hand around your left wrist. Ground down evenly through the feet. Press your hips out to the left and reach up and over to the right, so that you're creating a crescent moon shape through the body. Now notice if your left foot has lifted, maybe your right foot is lifted. Ground both feet evenly into the ground. Then come up. Maybe you feel a little taller already. Take the left hand around the right wrist. Get tall, then push the hips to the right and reach the whole body over to the left, crescent moon. We'll be working through these moon salutations quite slowly at first, and then we'll pick up the pace. Come back up. Palms together up at top. Then start to lift the right knee up as you draw the palms down, interrupting your line of sight to challenge your balance. Now bend down deeply through the left knee, stay low, and start to take a big wide step out to the right. So any of these balancing poses, you are welcome to hold on to your chair or something else. Now turning the toes out, the heels in, cactus open the arms once again, creating that baby back bend right here. Sometimes I've heard this called the goddess pose. From goddess, let's come to triangle. So straighten the legs. Turn your right foot to the short end of the mat. Left foot in a little bit so that the heel is wider than the toes. Straighten both knees. And then start to reach out over the right leg. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Take the right hand to the shin and the left arm to the sky. Try to lengthen both sides of the body, both sides of the torso. As you draw your right hip crease back and reach your head away from your hips. Now take the left hand to the hip. So right now your hips are open to the long side of the mat. We're going to close them towards the ground for pyramid pose. Anytime you work from open hips to closed hips, or vice versa, please do it very slowly and carefully. So that left hip comes down towards the ground, hips are squared towards the ground. You could bring your fingertips to the shin or to the earth. I like to hop my back foot in a little bit, turning the toes a little bit further forward, get a little length through the spine, and then fold forward over the straight right leg. Again, it doesn't matter how far down you go. Evenly weight through both feet. Pull both kneecaps up into the thighs. Square the hips by rolling that right hip back, left hip forward. And then we'll come into a lunge. So go ahead and just slide the left leg back. Bring the left knee to the ground. You could grab your blanket here, but we're not going to be for very long. You could keep the toes tucked under or top of the foot to the ground. Now, as you sink your hips forward and down, reach the arms all the way up, stretch long through the front body. Beautiful. Hands come down. Now, here's a place where, again, you may want to use a chair or a couch or something. We're going to come into what looks like a skandasana. So right knee bends, left leg straightens. Let's turn the toes up to get a nice stretch through the inner thigh. And then like a stealthy Jedi, full moon warrior, switch it over to the other side. Good. Nice stretch through the inner thigh. And then we'll turn into lunge on this side. So facing the short end of the mat, right knee down, toes can tuck or top of the foot flat. Reach up. Beautiful stretch right here. Hands come down to the earth. Pyramid pose. So come up onto that back foot and step it forward so that you can straighten both knees and square the hips, right hip forward, left hip back. With the inhalation, find length through the spine. With the exhalation, just fold forward. Then for triangle pose, I like to pop my left hand onto my left ankle, reach the right arm up, shine like a 5-pointed star. Now we're coming up into goddess pose again. Both feet turn out, cactus open the arms. Okay, testing the balance. Pour the weight into the right leg and see if you can come up with the left knee high. Step the left foot down. Inhale the arms up. Crescent moon, side bend to right. Picking up the pace a little bit here, let's side bend to the left. Come up. Lift the left knee as you draw the hands down to your heart. Bend the right knee, stay low, and then challenge yourself to take a big, wide step out for goddess. Here we go again. Triangle pose, this time to the left. Turn left foot out, right foot in. Shine through the heart, reach for the arms. Hand to the right hip, slowly close it down for pyramid. Hands can come down, forward fold over the straight left leg. Moving into our low lunge, slide the right knee back, place it to the earth, and then reach tall and high through the arms, through the heart. Good. Hands come down. Here we go for our Skandasana, stealthily moving over to the other side of the mat. Low lunge. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, arms low, preparing for pyramid. Both legs straight. Hop that back foot in if you need. Forward fold over the straight right leg. Triangle pose, hand to ankle. Open up towards the side of the mat, long side. And then coming into goddess, bend both knees, bend both elbows. Okay, transfer the weight into the left leg. Pop the right knee up, palms to heart. Place the foot down on purpose, like you mean it. Let's move through all of that with a little more grace and a little more speed. Inhale, arms up. Side bend right. Side bend left. Make this your dance. Come up. Palms come down. Right knee high. Bend left knee and step out wide. Goddess. Triangle pose. Right foot out. Left foot in. Reach and pivot. Close down the hips, pyramid pose, round down over the straight right leg. Scoot your back leg down and open your heart, saluting the moon. Hands come down, nice stretch through inner thighs as you slide over to the other side. And then let's square the hips to the short end of the mat, knee comes down, low lunge, reach. Gracefully, hands come down, straighten both legs. Fold forward over the left leg. Pop the hand to the ankle and then open up. Trikonasana like a 5-pointed star. Coming up for goddess pose. Sit down low. Bringing the weight into the, which way are we going? Over here to the right leg. Let's bring the left knee up. And then hands come up as the foot comes down. Let's take it side to side. Knee comes up, hands come down, bend down low, goddess pose. Nice. Triangle pose, right foot out, left foot in. Lengthen. You've been here before, shine. Close down that hip nice and slow. Pyramid. As we round down, big breath into the backs of the legs. And then reach that back leg down and back. Open up for the front body as you reach to the stars. Hands come down. Let's transfer over to the other side. All right. Bend the back knee. Reach high, low lunge. Pyramid pose on this side. Straighten both legs. Shoot your hips back and fold forward. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Reach through the feet. Open up your wingspan. And then coming up for goddess. Bend down deeply. Nice job, everyone. Transfer the weight into the left leg. Right knee comes up. Palms to prayer. This time, place the foot. Close down your eyes. Come back to your breath. Moon salutations. In Sanskrit, the word for moon is Chandra. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to work on a little more balancing. I need to grab a drink of water. You just take care of yourself. And for balancing, you might want something to hold on to. We won't be here for very long. We're going to get down nice and gushy, yin-like on the floor real soon. So, grounding through the feet, find your drishti or gaze point. Find your breath. And then reach your arms up. Keep your left arm up. Take your right arm down by your side with your palm open. Kick up your right foot. Now this is where you might want to hold onto something with your left hand. With your right hand, clasp the inside of the foot. That's the pinky toe side. This will help you keep your shoulder open. And then start to kick back into your hand to create a little bit of a bowing, a back bend. Keep that bowing as much as you can, and if you'd like, you could bring your belly button down as you keep your chin up, gaze up, heart up. Now transferring into eagle pose, go ahead and release the hand from the foot. Bend down deeply into the left leg. This is just for fun, you guys. Wrap your right leg up and over. Totally cool to have that right toe on the ground as a little kickstand. Then bend down, down, down like you're sitting into an imaginary chair and wrap your left arm under your right. Good. Squeeze everything bare down. And then slowly release, stand up, unwind the arms. Whew. Reach the arms up. Keep the right arm up as you bring your left hand down, this time the palm out. Fleshy part of the elbow out, ground through the right foot, and reach the right foot. The left hand around the left foot. Again, you could hold onto something here, bow through the spine. If you'd like, take it further forward. Slowly release. We're almost done with the active part of this class. We're going to come right into eagle pose. Bend down deeply, right arm under left, and wrap it all together. Really bear down, squeeze everything except your breath. Release, unwind, and stand still. Just take a moment to pause. Then interlace your hands behind the back of your head, just like you did before. Those pinky fingers are kind of digging into the back of the skull. Bend your knees quite generously, tuck your chin, and we're going to slow motion roll it on down. Take your time. When you come close to the ground, keep the knees bent. Bring your hands to the earth. And then separate your feet a little bit wider. for a squat. Now you could stay right here. You could have hands on piece of furniture. If you are coming down with your hips towards your heels like me, make sure you can lift up through your chest. Good. And then we're coming to the earth for the rest of our class. So just allow your bottom to touch down. Bring the feet out. Bring your arms forward, palms face each other. Pull your lower belly in. And then ever so slowly roll all the way down. A little shaking is totally normal. Oh. When you reach the earth, step your feet back until they're really close up to your hips, preparing for bridge pose. Take a moment to roll your shoulders underneath your body. And then let's come into robot arms by bending the elbows, fingertips facing the ceiling. Push into the upper arm bones, push into your feet, and lift your hips as high as you can. Drag your feet back towards your shoulders, and then draw your knees over your toes. Then lengthen your tailbone up and under towards the backs of the knees. With a little tone in your glutes, a little tone in your inner thighs, adductors, push the back of your head, shoulders, and upper arm bones firmly into the ground. From there, lift up just a little bit more, last active thing today. And slowly roll it down. Upper back, middle back, lower back, and pause. Big breath in, full, complete breath out. Before our final resting pose, we'll take a little spinal twist. So since your feet are on the ground, lift up your hips just an inch or two so that you can slide them over to the right, place them back to the earth on the right side of the mat. Stretch your left leg out long, hug your right knee up into your chest. Extend your right arm out to the side, and with your left hand, guide your knee all the way across the body. I have to just move my microphone thing. There. Now the right knee is getting heavy to the ground as the right shoulder rolls down as well. Allow your breath just to spiral up and down the spine. And allow your whole body to relax with gravity. Take one more luscious breath here. With your inhalation, unwind back through center. Let's place both feet back on the ground. With both feet on the ground, you can lift up your hips and then take them up and over to the left side of the mat. Stretch the right leg long. Pull the left knee in. Left arm extends to the side. You can guide the left knee over across the body. And then it's sort of a game of splitting the difference, bringing the left shoulder blade towards the earth as the left knee rolls across the body a little bit more. Let everything get heavy. Soften and release. And now maybe it's time to close your eyes. Let go of that long, smooth, deep breath. Unwind through the spinal twist back to neutral. Both feet on the ground so that you can lift up your hips and bring them back to the midline of the mat. From here, the moment we've all been waiting for, Shavasana. So stretch out your legs. You've got your padding, your towel. You could also cover up if you're cold. Or maybe place the towel underneath your knees. And then find a comfortable place where you can really rest. I highly encourage you to stay with me. I know it may be tempting to get up and run off, but this is really the most important part of the yoga practice, right here. You're not doing anything active, but you're assimilating all of the benefits of the rest of the poses, that moon salutation flow. So give yourself the gift of stillness and rest. We're here for a couple minutes. Oh, so sorry. Oh my goodness. So that's one way to come out of Shavasana. Come here, Pippa. Hopefully you're still in Shavasana. Say sorry, sorry. But you're welcome to come out now. So go ahead and lengthen your breath. Wiggle out your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms all the way up overhead. Pull up one knee and then the other. Roll over onto your side. Then come up to a comfortable seat. Joining me and Pippa, the loudest little dog. Go ahead and close your eyes right here and give yourself a big thank you for taking this time on your mat today. Adapting to all the strange circumstances in our life right now. And remembering how important self-care is. I thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Elise Fabricant. I'd love to stay in touch with you. I'm very easy to find on Facebook and Instagram. You can also check out my website, elisefabricant.com, sign up for my newsletter, check out my paintings and puzzles. I'm also a mind-body wellness coach, and I specialize in anxiety and stress management. So please reach out if I can help you in any of these ways. And I will be back, same time, same place, same dog, next week. Thanks, everyone. Namaste.